The UN Arab League representative for Syria has met with officials in Cairo. Lakhdar Brahimi says he realizes that he is taking on a very difficult task, but he can't refuse it. He says he feels obliged to do what he can to help the Syrian people during this time. Brahimi will meet Egyptian leaders before making his way to Damascus. It'll be his first official trip to Syria.
I am fully aware that while on this mission, I am only serving the Syrian people, and they are my only masters. Those who ask me to fill into this job have no interests but those of the Syrian people.
Brahimi has said he'll visit the Syrian capital in a few days' time. However, the city is still witnessing violence between government forces and rebel fighters. This video reportedly shows Syrian army troops in Damascus in the Al Taraman neighborhood. Well, Fadi Salem is a Syrian researcher who returned from Damascus just a few days ago. He joins us now from Dubai. What did you find in Damascus? How are those who are not involved in the fighting surviving?
Well, the majority of the city is life is going forward as usual, as normal. Other than the few troubled neighborhoods, including Tadamon, which you showed few footage of, people were seeing and hearing the explosions and the sounds of bullets and seeing smokes coming from these neighborhoods. But the rest of the city, people were going about their businesses as usual, even going to shops and the open markets there.
Yeah, I mean, however, I believe that some of them are even parting, which seems quite incredible from where we're sitting.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
I said I hear stories that people are even parting. They're still going out at night.
Yes, the entertainment is still going on, and life is, people are adapting everything, all facets of life. They're going to restaurants, they're going to their works, they're adapting to the sound of explosions and bullets, they're seeing the refugees coming in, they're trying to help them as much as they can, but the economy, the life is still functioning largely around the city in Damascus. That's not the case in Aleppo, though.
What's the case in Aleppo, from what you saw?
Well, in Aleppo, it's a very different story. The economy there is very much devastated. People are not going to their work, but still they are adapting. So you have localized parts of the city where they're opening businesses, creatively creating new businesses that function to service the local community in few neighborhoods. Instead of people going from one neighborhood to another to deliver that service, due to lack of oil, petrol, as well as the security issues there.
So you say people are going about their business in both Aleppo and Damascus, obviously more difficult in Aleppo. What about the government? How are you seeing the government responding to what's happening?
Well, the government or the regime in general is reacting brutally to many of the demonstrations, as well as the Free Syrian Army held areas. The government on the financial side is adapting. It still was able to pay salaries for government employees in Aleppo, for example. There was queues at the end of the last month in front of ATM machines, as well as the bank offices, the official bank office, where people were queuing to get their salaries, the government employees. But still, the government is not functioning in large parts of the city, and civil society is coming and filling the void, especially in Aleppo, which is a home for around 4 million people.
You spoke about people who'd lost their homes, the internally displaced, and that most of the locals are trying to look after them as best they can. What sort of situation are they in?
It's very hard around both cities, especially in Aleppo. In Aleppo, you have internal refugees coming from the neighboring towns and villages, where the villages has been witnessing shelling for the last few months, and many of the refugees relocated to Aleppo in some neighborhoods. And after the clashes started inside the city between the Free Syrian Army and the government, these same people, in addition to the local communities and the population, became again refugees, internal refugees in other areas in the city. Most of them, the civil society movements and the tightly knit communities in the city managed to absorb them. However, many of them, thousands of them, are now filling schools as well as university dorms, community centers, churches, mosques. So the people are adapting to this new reality despite the lack of the basic needs in the city.
Now we're waiting for Lakhdar Brahimi, the new UN envoy to arrive in the country. He said it's within a matter of days. Did you get a sense from Syrians that they believe that the UN can do anything for them, that the international community should be doing more?
Well, the majority of the population, other, if you like, than the armed side of the opposition, the majority of the population badly want a solution, any solution, especially a ceasefire in the very short term, and then maybe a transitional phase of some sort. Not many people are optimistic about that, although everybody is hoping for it. So Lakhdar's Ibrahim is viewed with skepticism, although, however, people are trying to find any sort of solution. A political solution of like the Lakhdar's Ibrahim's initiatives and before the Anan initiative managed to a large extent in the past to limit the number of casualties and the people dying on a daily basis. And that's where, as a very short term, a goal in itself for many inside Syria today.
All right, good talking to you, Fadi Salem, who's just returned from the country.